price range should the recipe be in? I think that it doesn't have to be so much about price range, because we talk a lot, you can make your own recipe, and then part of my curriculum is always to talk about substitutions for cost. So if someone can't afford fresh vegetables, we always tell them frozen is fine. So in the curriculums that we teach, we talk about the different substitutions that you can make to reduce cost. So I don't think you guys should have to worry about that as much, so go for it.
How much calories should it be under?
So, okay, this is a good question too. So when we think about the parameters for the recipe, I would say use American Heart Association's guidelines. It's not so much about calories, but it's going to be about limiting the saturated fat, right? So choosing good fats and keeping saturated fat under a specific number. And it's going to be about keeping sodium under a specific number. And those numbers will all be on the American Heart Association page. So as long as you're using those guidelines, then it'll be good. Yes?
I have a question for the teacher. So basically we'll make, for our project that we're doing right now, we're making a cookbook. Is that true? Is that what's going on?
We're going to go over no's and need to knows after this, so save that and need to know.
Yeah, and what Kristen did say was that she's asking us to collaboratively write a book for her clients, for her patients.
So, like, in your opinion, what would be like healthiest fast food restaurant? Like, what do you say?
The healthiest fast food restaurant,
In terms of like vegetables and like calories.
I would say you probably would have your healthiest choices at Wendy's, maybe at Chipotle. You could even, there are some healthy choices at McDonald's. So I think if fast food is your only option, but you got to look at nutrition facts, and that's all available on the internet. I mean, you can go on the internet and find out what your best choices are and all that. You can make it work if fast food really was your only option. But what I know to be true, just from doing this for the last 10 years and having a family of my own, is that it really is not cheaper to eat out. It almost never is cheaper to eat out. So if you can take some time and cook, it's almost always, you can make it more economical. Yes?
Is Subway healthier than?
Subway's another good, there are some good options there. I think what you have to be careful of is you can't assume that Subway's going to be healthy because they promote, Eat Fresh, that guy that lost all the weight. The other thing that I just want to mention about fast food, so we had those the models out, right? And that's a meal where you're getting all your fat, sodium, and sugar for the day, but you're not getting any nutrition from that, right? There's no vitamins and minerals in a McDonald's meal. So, that's the other thing. It's kind of an energy cost. Yes?
What about the people who are anorexic? All these people, we're talking about all the people with heart problems and all these weight problems, but what about people with anorexia?
Honestly, at Kaiser, we sort of treat eating disorders through a different department. It's less medical and it's more psychological. So we leave that up to psychiatrists and registered dietitians. But it's a good point.
So kind of building on the first question, if you're like a lifelong anorexic or bulimic, would your cardiovascular health be better or worse than that of somebody who eats regularly? Eating disorders are not really my personal specialty, but I know that long-term eating disorders, people can have heart problems. They can permanently damage their esophaguses, and they can cause themselves to have irregular heartbeats. They can put themselves into comas. So I think that there are a lot of health concerns about anorexia and bulimia, but it's sort of a completely different disease process.
Yeah, and we'll just mention we will have a guest, a counselor who does have expertise in that, and we talk to us about those. But as our guest mentioned, that is more of a psychological issue, and that has more to do with a disconnect between perception of reality.
questions? So we will make my phone number and my email address available to you guys. So as you think of things, please feel free to contact me. The research part will be up to you guys, right? So if you're asking me a basic research question, I'm going to throw that back to you and say you got to research that. But if you have, questions about cooking or disease process, or you're not understanding, because the other thing is there's a lot of information out there and some of it is conflicting. So if you come across that, you can always email me. I'm happy to get back to you.
All right, great. Thank you for being here.
All right, guys. Good luck. Thank you.